Well, I am Matt Chambers, and I play Biscuit.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Lagan, and I play the Metal Doctor. Woohoo.
Yes, you do.
I am the Fire King!
All hail the Fire King,
Oh.
Domine, thanks to my lighter.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. This one is about the Doctor, Biscuit, and Teleny visiting 13th century Germany to get an experience of the first Christmas, or one of the first Christmases, very early in Christmas history. And dark things are afoot.
Yeah, very dark things.
Yeah, very dark things are afoot. The children have gone missing, and it's down to the Doctor, Biscuit, and Teleny to find out what's happened. But on the way, things get tense, shall we say. Well, I play the Doctor's companion, and his name is Biscuit. And he is, without putting too fine a point on it, the Doctor's best mate. Because that's what I like about Biscuit. Because I sort of wrote the first Metal episode, so what I wanted for Biscuit was a proper pal. There wasn't going to be all this slushy sort of, oh, are they going to fall in love? Are they going to have this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. They is homies. They is comrades.
Yeah.
They're going to see way too much stuff in the universe to worry about hormones and ghastly things like that. This is proper, straight down the line, proper mates. And it's a relationship that comes from a very real place, from several very real places, actually. So that's kind of how I play Biscuit, is someone that the Doctor can trust, that she can tease mercilessly, but never degrades him. It's a very balanced,
a very lovely friendship that they do have.
It is a very lovely friendship,
and throughout every single episode, it's just like, they have their own little moments together where it's just like they can totally relate to each other in that way. But it's the same with myself. It's like with Metal, she's almost like changing and alternating throughout every single episode that she's in, and ultimately she's just trying to find herself, find out who she is as a Doctor, but also who she is as a person.
Hi, I'm Auden Koenigke, and I play Werner in Krampus Nacht. This was my first time working with TT, and it's been a really amazing experience. I've been a fan of the channel for a while, so this was definitely a dream come true for me. And I got to work with a lot of amazingly talented and very, very kind people. Werner, he's been through a lot. His wife died in childbirth, and now his son is missing along with the rest of the town's children. So when we first meet Werner, he's a little confrontational, a little standoffish, but I think underneath all that stress and trauma, he has a good heart, and that definitely comes through in the episode.
Hello, my name is Peter Franks, and I play Victor. Well, the story is that the Doctor and companions want to go back to 13th century Germany in order to meet good old St. Nicholas himself. However, they get involved with a bunch of native Germans who are looking for their lost kinder, or their lost children. So the Doctor and companions assist in such an endeavour. However, of course, spooky goings-on happen, and it all gets a little bit scary, a little bit freaky in the end, quite frankly. But that's just Doctor Who, isn't it? So playing Victor was an interesting experience. Victor is not a very nice man, really. I mean, he's a family man. I think he loves his family, and he's very, protective of them. So much so that he's going out looking for his lost child. But at the same time, he's got a very kind of one-dimensional view on the world. First and foremost, he believes he's right all the time, and secondly, he has a very dim view of women, which I think is an interesting one, because obviously in 13th century Germany and the world, quite frankly, I think the hierarchy between gender was very, very different, and so in some ways, is it typical of somebody at that time? Possibly, but I don't think they have that level of disdain that he does. He obviously is quite dismissive and nasty, whereas now, if somebody was acting like that towards a bunch of women, you'd probably whack him on the nose. But he's not very nice, and subsequently he basically rubs everybody up the wrong way, which is not what you want to do when you're embarking on a mission through frozen cold woodland and trying to find some lost children. So yeah, and with that, we also had an interesting little twist in the tale, which, of course, he's German, but he's spoken with an American accent, which is slightly strange as well. And I think that's a subsequence of I think it was just down to different actors available and working out the best way to possibly do it. But of course, with the TARDIS, you can pretty much do anything you like. So that was quite fun. As you can tell, I'm not an American. So having to put on an accent for all my lines was really interesting. Hopefully I did it enough justice, because there's nothing more irritating, is there, than hearing somebody who's doing a pretend accent and not doing it very well.
Oh, we're recording.
Good grief.
Oh my gosh.
I say.
God almighty.
Oh my lord.
Oh my giddy aunt.
The recording experience was great fun, though. It was so lovely getting a bunch of people together in one space, or in this case, a virtual space, virtual rooms. Everybody with their own microphones and doing a remote recording. And there's something so rewarding about it, because you do get that feeling of everybody being together in one place and having fun. And it just helps so much because, you're able to bounce off each other first and foremost, which is brilliant. You're also able to really kind of, your performance will be guided by what other people are doing. So if people react in a certain way, you're going to react back in a certain way.
Yeah, Finchie, yeah. Take this.
Your phone?
It's my Nokia.
Yes, that's a grand idea, Biscuit.
Idea?
What?
It's an
Idea.
idea. Yeah.
That's a grand beer biscuit.
Or la 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 da da da. 'Tis the season to be jolly and joyless. Fa la la.
Do you know what? I come from a school of Doctor Who fan audios whereby people would send things in and you would essentially build the story in jigsaw formats, right? So doing live, I didn't actually do until TT came along, and I really do love it, because it is very much like, doing a Doctor Who's live. It is, I say live, it's the clues in the name, but there's a completely different energy. I mean, everybody, just as sort of comparison, when you're jigsawing, people will give you a very, very good performance most of the time, and you kind of have to have faith in the people who are recording to give you what you're after, because once they've sent it to you, it's kind of all you've got to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do it, what I love about doing it live is that you have an idea of how things are going to run in your head. You speak the lines, and then someone reacts to you in a way that you kind of either did expect or you didn't expect. And you bounce off each other. And the energy in these recordings is just palpable. I mean, especially this one. Considering the story is quite grim, the laughs we've had on this one.
Oh, I swear. I love it. Like, I think
some of it's unrepeatable.
like with most live recordings, yes, we do take everything seriously and we act seriously in what we do, but you do get a genuine laugh out of everything, and you work with each other, so it's not like you're just acting towards a brick wall. You're actually acting with somebody, like you're in the same space. You're like on a stage. If you can imagine like a theoretical stage, you're acting with that person. You can hear their tone in their voice, you can bounce off that, and you're not having to guess what they sound like.
And everybody's so great anyway in this particular, you know, the way in which we put this together. So obviously, you know, Abby has kind of curated this whole situation. He's not only directing it, but also has been gathering everybody, handling the recording, handling that side of things in the organization. And so it went like clockwork. Obviously, one thing I have to say is it features a good chum of mine, Mr. Matt Chambers, who I've known for goodness only knows how many years. So it's finally lovely to be able to work with him. And of course, Chelsea, who plays the Doctor, which is just fantastic because she's got such an energy and such a vibe and such a unique character, both as the Doctor and just as a person. It's just, you know, a real life rock star, really. And so it's really cool to kind of have that energy and that experience and really get to riff and play upon that.
We have new people like Amelia. Amelia is a new wee girl that we brought on, and she is a wonderful little kid, and she is so talented, and she brings, like, you know, that kind of joy into it. And during the sad scene, she brings that, and it's just like, you know, you have a child there, and you're like, oh, I want to comfort this child.
My on-screen or on-audio daughter, played by Amelia, she did a fantastic job. You know, what a star she's going to be one day. And it's just so brilliant to be able to collaborate in that environment and just do something completely different. And also scary because it's quite a dark tale. You know, it's rare that you know, obviously you can kill off a few characters, but when you kill off the kids, you know, and you've got subjects such as, you know, kids being chained up and having almost all their life force sucked out of them. So they're just mere shells of what they once were. Is dark, isn't it? It's very dark. But I think, you know, what the wonderful thing I always think, and the great balance between stuff is it's, you know, light and dark is dark and darkness and comedy. And of course, what is great is that dynamic between Doctor and companions, the comedy, the able to switch it up between deep, dark, emotional stuff to then flip it on a dime to have a bit of comedy and a bit of fun.
Hello, I'm Abby Louise, and I co-wrote Krampus Nacht.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Lagan, and I also co-wrote Krampus Nacht.
This was very much a last-minute project.
It really was, but you know what? It's so worth it. It's so worth it. I love it too much.
Because I say the premise started out Christmassy and then strolled down a dark path.
You mean I got involved with the script and then it took a very dark path?
This is Chelsea's first Doctor Who one.
Yeah, I don't do Who.
I was struggling and I was like, Chelsea, help. And then she turned around and went,
why are you asking me? Why are you asking me for help? But here, I know something. I know Vashta Narada.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of incorporated that into this and then just made it creepy children.
Well, obviously with metal, we had to make it a wee bit spookity-dooky.
Yeah.
And...
spookity-dookity.
Spookity-dookity. I don't know much of Who. I know a lot of Tennant. But I don't know much of Who, and that was the only alien type of creature aspect that I thought would be really good for the story and would fit into this type of thing. I don't know what my thought process was, but then the more that it was said, I was just like, oh, that would be a good one.
There's one particular line that I really want to highlight, and it's when you're talking about the perception filter, and you say it's like looking at the covers of books.
It's like scanning through books but never fully reading the titles. It's a diversion, not allowing you to see the full picture.
I love that.
I love that too. Such a good line.
But I do hope that that people enjoy the chaotic edit.
I hope everyone enjoys it.
I will add this, and this is currently the 16th of December. This is planned to go out on the 27th, so stand by.
Have fun, Abby. I have done my job. It is done. Now enjoy editing my shoutiness.